Why are all these old men parading fake bulls down the street? I'm Greg Ott, and we'll tell you why right now on your daily news refresh. Plus the story of one record-breaking way to beat the heat for 2 minutes. Plus the story of a tourist who didn't read the sign. But to begin, take a look at all these people impersonating a dead author. This is video out of Key West, Florida on Saturday, where dozens of Ernest Hemingway lookalikes took part in a running of the bulls. That statement's mostly accurate. Some of these lookalikes don't quite look alike, and it's more of a casual saunter. But the bulls do pretty much live up to their name, as they're crude approximations of these creatures on wheels bandied about the town streets. This running of the bulls, or perhaps more appropriately, gentle parade of old men on wooden sawhorses, was just one of the tributes making up Hemingway Days in Key West, an annual affair that's been going on since 1981. You see, the famous writer loved Spanish bullfighting and spent his 1930s in Key West, where his legacy lives on as fans, scholars, and locals alike routinely turn out to celebrate Hemingway's works, adventurous life, and practical sense of fashion, with the 125th anniversary of his birth having fallen on July 21st. This whole affair is a stunt started by Sloppy Joe's Bar, one of Hemingway's old drinking hangouts that for years has also been hosting the annual Hemingway Look-Alike Contest, where a bunch of people who kind of look like Ernest Hemingway compete to see who looks the most like Ernest Hemingway.
Ernest Hemingway is famous here, and his legacy carries on, and we support that.
That's David Douglas of the Hemingway Look-Alike Society and winner of the 2009 contest.
We're doing good things, but the family loves us for what we're doing today versus when we first started. We got accused of being, old, gray-haired, pot-bellied people, drinking, getting drunk, falling off the street curbs. But now, I've established a mission for us, and it's hard to explain unless you experience that.
Indeed, as the Hemingway Look-Alike Society states on its own page, to give some purpose to a bunch of portly, gray-bearded old men, they established a scholarship program to help out local college students. Just a few days ahead of the Summer Olympics kicking off this week, during which thousands of elite athletes will pit themselves against one another in feats of endurance, strength, and skill, on Sunday, Sloppy Joe's announced that Bat Masterson was ultimately dubbed Papa 2024, making him the 43rd annual Hemingway Look-Alike Contest winner. And that giant thing around his neck might not be Olympic gold, silver, or bronze, but that doesn't mean a bunch of bearded seniors exchanging medals in a Florida bar didn't achieve something monumental themselves, too. Here's something else kind of cool. This is video out of Vienna, Austria on Thursday, where 300 people are doing these little stretch warm-ups as they prepare to submerge themselves in these pools filled with ice water. Looks cold given the contents, and this ice swimming coach told the Associated Press in German, as is the fashion there, this extremely cold water feels like 1,000 needles. A very precise number. In case you're wondering why your beverage is room temperature, perhaps it's not just because this happened in Europe, but because this feat required 3 tons of ice cubes, some small, some apparently not so small. And the reason for this chilly communal public bath was to break a national ice bathing record. The goal here was for everyone to stay in the ice-cold water for 2 full minutes. And there was a good reason for this soak: to help raise 30,000 euros to support the Austrian Paralympic Committee. It was also to help promote a Samsung smartwatch, which might not be a good reason to participate, but it's certainly at least another reason. After taking part in some breathing exercises and all those stretches, our 300 here, including men, women, and perhaps the devil himself seeking a bit of refuge, took the tiny plunge, and ultimately broke the previous record of 100 people doing something similar by sitting in these baths for 2 minutes. It may have been a frigid affair, but hey, at least we know it was easy for them to time the thing. Finally, here's a tourist being bitten by a horse. This is video from Sunday in London, where a member of the King's Guard can be seen sitting upon a horse outside the Household Calvary Museum. Hordes of tourists approach this fine guard upon this fine horse for a fine photo, and sometimes throwing everything from the Ringo Starr to the thumbs up. Our horse here can actually be seen going in for a little snack of this woman, before ultimately eschewing the hors d'oeuvres for the main course of this woman in a Pink Floyd shirt. Yeah, the damn horse takes a bite of the lady's arm. In the immediate aftermath, some choose to help her out, as other bystanders smile and continue to hold their phones, only for the woman to eventually collapse on the ground. It's not clear what happened to this woman after this went down, but in the YouTube comments of this video, Patrick Barrett 5650 said, "Call a drama coach, she needs a refund." Keith George-VT4XP observed, "It is a horse and not a great white shark." And Carol Smith 7424 wrote, "The signs are there for a reason, please read them." Oh yeah, this sign. Beware, horses may kick or bite. Seems like a fair warning, as seen on the face of this other woman, who later appeared to still want her own photo opportunity without becoming a horse's lunch. This Household Calvary Museum says it's a living museum where real people do a real job in a real place, including troopers working with horses in 18th century stables. And since 1660, household cavalry soldiers have acted as the monarch's trusted guardians. Though these days, it seems like the horses are the ones picking up the slack. And hey, if getting bit by British horses isn't your thing, how about counting British swans? As we just told you here on your daily news refresh, please subscribe. Last week saw the annual British ceremony of swan-upping, during which the King's Swan Marker counted all the swans that belonged to King Charles III upon the River Thames. I'm Greg Ott, and we bring you new, weird, and interesting news stories like these each and every day. Let us know what you think in the comments. In this recent video about Target stores no longer accepting personal checks as of July 15th, Karen Bellinger 8621 said, "No more Target shopping for me." Okay.